Good afternoon, everyone. We're reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and we are on the chapter called The Master and M. If you're following along, it's page 279, and it's Monday, August 20th, 1883. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on his bed inside the mosquito net, meditating. It was about 8 o'clock in the evening. M was sitting on the floor with his friend, Hari Babu. Hari, a young man of 28, had lost his wife about 11 years before and had not married a second time. He was much devoted to his parents, brothers, and sisters. Hazra was living at Dakshineshwar. Rakhal lived with the master, though now and then he stayed at Adhar's house. Narendra, Bhavanath, Adhar, M, Ram, Manamohan, and other devotees visited the master almost every week. Hridoy, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew, was ill in his home in the country. The master was worried about him. One of the devotees had sent him a little money, but the master did not know it. When Sri Ramakrishna came out of the mosquito net and sat on a small couch, the devotees saluted him. Master to M, I was meditating inside the net. It occurred to me that meditation, after all, was nothing but the imagining of a form, and so I did not enjoy it. One gets satisfaction if God reveals himself in a flash. Again I said to myself, who is it that meditates, and on whom does he meditate? M, yes, sir. You said that God himself has become everything, the universe and all living beings. Even he who meditates is God. Master, what is more, one cannot meditate unless God wills it. One can meditate when God makes it possible for one to do so. What do you say? When one is conscious of doing work, one should establish with God the relationship of servant and master. M was always reflecting on the nature of the Supreme Brahman. Master to M, like the Akasha, Brahman is without any modification. It has become manifold because of Shakti. Again, Brahman is like fire, which itself has no color. The fire appears white if you throw a white substance into it, red if you throw a red, black if you throw a black. The three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, belong to Shakti alone. Brahman itself is beyond the three gunas. What Brahman is cannot be described. It is beyond words. That which remains after everything is eliminated by the Vedantic process of not this, and which is of the nature of bliss, is Brahman. Suppose the husband of a young girl has come to his father-in-law's house and is seated in the drawing room with other young men of his age. The girl and her friends are looking at them through the window. Her friends do not know her husband and ask her, pointing to one young man, is that your husband? No, she answers, smiling. They point to another, repeat the question, and ask if he is her husband. Again, she answers no. They repeat the question, referring to a third, and she gives the same answer. At last, they point to her husband and ask, is he the one? She says neither yes nor no, but only smiles and keeps quiet. Her friends realize that he is her husband. One becomes silent on realizing the true nature of Brahman. To M, well, why do I talk so much? M, you talk in order to awaken the spiritual consciousness of the devotees. You once said that when an uncooked luchi is dropped into boiling ghee, it makes a sizzling noise. The master began to talk to M about Hazra. Master, do you know the nature of a good man? He never troubles others. He doesn't harass people. The nature of some people is such that when they go to a feast, they want special seats. A man who has true devotion to God never makes a false step, never gives others trouble for nothing. It is not good to live in the company of bad people. A man should stay away from them and thus protect himself. To M, isn't that so? M, yes, sir. The mind sinks far down in the company of the wicked, but it is quite different with a hero, as you say. Master, how is that? M, when a fire is feeble, it goes out even when a small stick is thrown into it. But a blazing fire is not affected even if a plantain tree is thrown into it. The tree itself is burnt to ashes. The master asked M about his friend Hari Babu. M, he has come here to pay you his respects. He lost his wife long ago. Master to Hari, what kind of work do you do? M, nothing in particular, but at home he takes good care of his parents and his brothers and sisters. Master with a smile, how is that? You are like Elder the pumpkin cutter. You are neither a man of the world nor a devotee of God. That is not good. You must have seen the sort of elderly man who lives in a family and is always ready, day or night, to entertain the children. He sits in this parlor and smokes a hubble-bubble. With nothing in particular to do, he leads a lazy life. Now and again he goes to the inner court and cuts a pumpkin, for since women do not cut pumpkins, they send the children to ask him to come and do it. That is the extent of his usefulness, hence his name, Elder the Pumpkin Cutter. You must do this as well as that. Do your duties in the world, and also fix your mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. Read books of devotion like the Bhagavata or the life of Chaitanya when you were alone and have nothing else to do. It was about 10 o'clock. Sri Ramakrishna finished a light supper of farina pudding and took 1 or 2 luchis. After saluting him, M and his friend took their leave. Friday, September 7th, 1883. Sri Ramakrishna and M were talking in the master's room at 7:30 in the evening. No one else was present. Master, the other day I went to Calcutta. As I drove along the streets in the carriage, I observed that everyone's attention was fixed on low things. Everyone was brooding over his stomach and running after nothing but food. Everyone's mind was turned to lust and greed. I saw only 1 or 2 with their attention fixed on higher things, with their minds turned to God. M. The present age has aggravated this stomach worry. Trying to imitate the English, people have turned their attention to more luxuries. Therefore, their wants have also increased. Master, what do the English think about God? M. They believe in a formless God. Master, that is also one of our beliefs. For a time, the master and the disciple remained silent. Then Sri Ramakrishna began to describe his experiences of Brahman. Master, one day I had the vision of consciousness, non-dual and indivisible. At first it had been revealed to me that there were innumerable men, animals, and other creatures. Among them there were aristocrats, the English, the Mussulmans, myself, scavengers, dogs, and also a bearded Mussulman with an earthenware tray of rice in his hand. He put a few grains of rice into everybody's mouth. I too tasted a little. Another day, I saw rice, vegetables, and other foodstuff and filth and dirt as well lying around. Suddenly, the soul came out of my body and like a flame touched everything. It was like a protruding tongue of fire and tasted everything once, even the excreta. It was revealed to me that all these are one substance, the non-dual and indivisible consciousness. Another day, and there's a footnote on this one. This happened before any of the Master's intimate disciples came to him. Another day it was revealed to me that I had devotees, my intimate companions, my very own. Thereafter I would climb to the roof of the kuti as soon as the bells and the conch shells of the evening service sounded in the temple and cry out with a longing heart, "Oh, where are you all? Come here, I am dying to see you." To M. Well, what do you think of these visions? M. God sports through you. This I have realized, that you are the instrument and God is the master. God has created other beings as if with a machine, but yourself with his own hands. Master. Well, Hazra says that after the vision of God, one acquires the 6 divine powers. M. Those who seek pure love don't want powers. Master. Perhaps Hazra was a poor man in his previous life, and that is why he wants so much to see the manifestation of power. He wants to know what I talk about with the cook. He says to me, "You don't have to talk to the cook. I shall talk to the manager of the temple myself and see that you get everything you want." M laughs aloud. He talks to me that way and I say nothing. M. Many a time you have said that a devotee who loves God for the sake of love does not care to see God's powers. A true devotee wants to see God as Gopala, the baby Krishna. In the beginning, God becomes the magnet and the devotee the needle. But in the end, the devotee himself becomes the magnet and God the needle. That is to say, God becomes small to his devotees. Master. Yes, it is just like the sun at dawn. You can easily look at the sun. It doesn't dazzle the eyes. Rather, it satisfies them. God becomes tender for the sake of his devotees. He appears before them, setting aside his powers. Both remain silent for some time. M. Why should your visions not be real? If they are unreal, then the world is still more unreal. For there is only one mind that is the instrument of perception. Your pure mind sees those visions, and our ordinary minds see worldly objects. Master, I see that you have grasped the idea of unreality. Well, tell me, what do you think of Hazra? M. Oh, I don't know. The Master laughs. Master, well, do you find me to be like anybody else? M. No, sir. Master, like any other Paramahamsa? M. No, sir. You can't be compared to anybody else. Master, smiling. Have you heard of a tree called the Achina? M. No, sir. Master, there is a tree called by that name, but nobody knows what it is. M. Likewise, it is not possible to recognize you. The more a man understands you, the more uplifted he will be. M. was silent. He said to himself, the Master referred to the sun at dawn and the tree unrecognizable by man. Did he mean an incarnation of God? Is this the play of God through man? Is the Master himself an incarnation? Was this why he cried for the devotees from the roof of the kuti? Where are you? Come to me. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the steps of the southeast veranda of the Kali temple. Rakal, M, and Hazra were with him. He talked light-heartedly about his boyhood days. When it was dusk, he returned to his room and sat down on the small couch. Soon he went into samadhi, and in that state began to talk to the Divine Mother. He said, Mother, what is this row about? Shall I go there? I shall go if you take me. The Master was to go to a devotee's house. Was it for this that he was asking the Divine Mother's permission? Again he spoke to her, perhaps praying for an intimate disciple. Mother, please make him stainless. Well, mother, why have you given him only a particle? Remaining silent a moment, he said, Oh, I see. That will be enough for your work. In the same state, he said, addressing the devotee, that which is Brahman is verily Shakti. I address that again as the mother. I call it Brahman when it is inactive, and Shakti when it creates, preserves, and destroys. It is like water, sometimes still, and sometimes covered with waves. The incarnation of God is a part of the Leela of Shakti. The purpose of the divine incarnation is to teach man ecstatic love for God. The incarnation is like the udder of the cow, the only place milk is to be got. God incarnates himself as man. There is a great accumulation of divinity in an incarnation, like the accumulation of fish in a deep hollow in a lake. Some of the devotees wondered, is Sri Ramakrishna an incarnation of God like Krishna, Chaitanya, and Christ? Sunday, September 9th, 1883. Sri Ramakrishna had finished his midday meal and was sitting on the small couch. Rakal, M, and Ratan were sitting on the floor. Ratan was the steward of Jadu Malik's garden house and was devoted to the master. Now and then Ram Chatterjee and Hazra passed in or out of the room. It was about 2:00. Ratan asked the master what a yatra performed by Nilkanta had been arranged, told him that a yatra performed by Nilkanta had been arranged at Jadu Malik's house in Calcutta. Ratan to the master, you must go. The date has been set. Master, that's good. I want to go. Nilkanta sings with great devotion. A devotee, that is true, sir. Master, tears flow from his eyes as he sings. Ratan, I'm thinking of spending the night in Calcutta when I go to see the Jatra. Ratan, that will be fine. Ram Chatterjee and the other devotees asked Ratan about a theft in Jadu Malik's house. Ratan, yes, the golden sandals of the deity were stolen from the shrine room in Jadu Babu's house. It has created an uproar. They are going to try to discover the thief by means of a charmed plate. Everybody will sit in one room, and the plate will move in the direction of the man who stole the sandals. Master with a smile, how does the plate move? By itself? Ratan, no, a man presses it to the ground. A devotee, it is a kind of sleight of hand. It is a clever trick. Master, the real cleverness is the cleverness by which one realizes God. That trick is the best of all tricks. As the conversation went on, several Bengali gentlemen entered the room and after saluting the master sat down. One of them was already known to Sri Ramakrishna. These gentlemen followed the cult of Tantra. The master knew that one of them indulged in immoral acts in the name of religion. The Tantra rituals, under certain conditions, allow the mixing of men and women devotees. But Sri Ramakrishna regarded all women, even prostitutes, as manifestations of the Divine Mother. He addressed them all as Mother. Master with a smile, where is Achalananda? My ideal is different from that of Achalananda and his disciples. As for myself, I look on all women as Mother. The visiting gentleman got silent. Master, every woman is a mother to me. Achalananda used to stay here now and then. He would drink a great deal of consecrated wine. Hearing about my attitude toward women, he stubbornly justified his own views. He insisted again and again, why should you not recognize the attitude of a hero toward women? Won't you admit the injunction of Shiva? Shiva himself is the author of Tantra, which prescribes various disciplines, including the heroic. I said to him, but my dear sir, I don't know. I don't like these ideas. To me, every woman is a mother. Achalananda did not support his own children. He said to me, God will support them. I said nothing. But this is the way I felt about it. Who will support your children? I hope your renunciation of wife and children is not a way of earning money. People will think you are a holy man because you have renounced everything, so they will give you money. In that way, you will earn plenty of money. Spiritual practice with a view to winning a lawsuit and earning money, or to helping others win in court and acquire property, shows a very mean understanding. Money enables a man to get food and drink, build a house, worship the deity, serve devotees and holy men, and help the poor when he happens to meet them. These are the good uses of money. Money is not meant for luxury or creature comforts or for buying a position in society. People practice various tantric disciplines to acquire supernatural powers. How mean such people are. Krishna said to Arjuna, "Friend, by acquiring one of these 8 siddhis, spiritual powers, you may add a little to your power, but you will not be able to realize me." One cannot get rid of Maya as long as one exercises supernatural powers, and Maya begets egotism. Body and wealth are impermanent. Why go to so much trouble for their sakes? Just think of the plight of the Hatha yogis. Their attention is fixed on one ideal only, longevity. They do not aim at the realization of God at all. They practice such exercises as washing out the intestines, drinking milk through a tube, and the like, with that one aim in view. There was once a goldsmith whose tongue suddenly turned up and stuck to his palate. He looked like a man in samadhi. He became completely inert and remained so a long time. People came to worship him. After several years, his tongue suddenly returned to its natural position, and he became conscious of all things as before. So he went back to his work as a goldsmith. All laugh. These are physical things and have nothing to do with God. There was a man who knew 82 postures and talked big about yoga samadhi, but inwardly he was drawn to lust and greed. Once he found a banknote worth several thousand rupees. He could not resist the temptation and swallowed it, thinking he would get it out somehow later on. The note was got out of him already, all right, but he was sent to jail for 3 years. In my guilelessness, I used to think that the man had made great spiritual progress. Really, I say it upon my word. Mahendranath Pal of Sinti once gave Ramlal 5 rupees. Ramlal told me about it after he had gone. I asked him what the gift was for, and Ramlal said, "It was meant for me. I thought it might enable me to pay off some of my debt for milk." That night I went to bed, and if you will believe me, I suddenly woke up with a pain. I felt as if a cat were scratching inside my chest. I at once went to Ramlal and asked him, "For whom did Mahendra give this money? Was it for your aunt?" "No," said Ramlal, "it was meant for you." I said to him, "Go and return the money at once, or I shall have no peace of mind." Ramlal returned the money early in the morning, and I felt much relieved. Once a rich man came here and said to me, "Sir, you must do something so that I may win my lawsuit. I have heard of your reputation, and so I have come here." "My dear sir," I said to him, "you've made a mistake. I'm not the person you're looking for. Achalananda is your man." A true devotee of God does not care for such things as wealth or health. He thinks, why should I practice spiritual austerities for creature comforts, money, or name and fame? These are all impermanent. They last only a day or two. The visiting gentleman took leave of the master after saluting him. When they had departed, Sri Ramakrishna smiled and said to M, "You can never make a thief listen to religion." All laughed. I think that's a fairly good place to stop, because we're going on to a description of Narendra next, and we only have a couple minutes. So are there any questions about what we've read? Okay. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday, and we will have Easter worship at 6:30 here in the temple. Everyone is welcome to come. I think it's going to be online. YouTube? Yeah. YouTube. It will be on YouTube 6:30 to 7:30. Then we'll have a lecture at 11 o'clock. Vajraprana will talk on the blessings of Easter. At the same time, anyone who comes to the temple, bring your children. We will have an Easter egg hunt. So we would love to have the kids back again. Wednesday, we'll have our usual reading of How a Shepherd Boy Became a Saint, Swami Adbhutananda. And then Saturday the 15th, we'll have the Gospel of Ramakrishna. On Sunday the 16th, Swami Sumanasananda, our assistant minister, will speak on Holy Mother in the Eyes of Swami Vivekananda, Part 2. Now, if there are no questions or anything more, we'll end with the chant. I hope all of you have a lovely Easter, and come to the egg hunt if you have children. Okay, we'll end with it. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We'll see you all.